ever been asked these questions? Which would you choose for a husband? A good looking and rich man, or an average looking man who loves you very much but is poor? Or the classic, which would you rather have? A successful, a successful, well-paying career, or a happy marriage and family? To be very frank with you, I hate these kinds of either-or questions. Really. Why? Must we always have an either-or choice? Must it be this or this? This good thing, this not so good thing. Yeah. Alright? Why? Why do I hate? Why? Because life is really an either-or thing. You know? Can we have end this and this? Can we have both? Is it possible? Is it bad? To want a good looking, man who loves me very much and can provide me with the life I want? Is that impossible? Okay. I thought there's something wrong with me because I would always complain. I would say, do I have to choose? Why can't I have both? Oh, that makes me greedy. Really? Until I came across what psychology said. And let me read this. It says, true maturity means being able to hold two opposing ideas at once without confusing and without collapsing. Let me read this. So which means I'm not crazy, I'm not greedy, that I don't have to choose between two opposites. I can have the best of two things. Okay. Well, psychology said it. Immature thinking demands that everything be simply black or white, or right or wrong, okay, good or bad. It demands, very rigid. No. It's this and this, okay? Number two, reality is almost always more nuance. What do you mean by nuance? It is not as straight as that. You could have different shades, okay? Someone can hurt you and still not be entirely evil. Why? Because they've hurt you unintentionally. That doesn't make them evil, isn't it? Okay. You can love something or someone and also acknowledge that that is no longer right for you anymore. Why? Because you have outgrown it. Does it mean then that you are ruthless? That you only give importance to what is beneficial to you? No. Okay. Third, being able to hold complexities. Life is complex without collapsing into simple narratives is a mark of what? Genuine wisdom. Fourth, either or thinking feels certain and comfortable. That's why most people say, no, it's easy to choose. Okay, what do you like, Chinese or Japanese? Okay, you go to a Chinese restaurant, you go to a Japanese restaurant. It's easy. What if you say, well, I want fusion? That's why you now have what? Fusion restaurant, East and Western, cuisine. Okay, but it could be comfortable, it could be certain, but consistently misrepresents a complex, layered reality. Okay? Why can't I have Filipino dish? Actually, Filipino dishes are actually fusion. You know why? because if we, the Philippines has been under the Spaniards, for 400 years. So, our dishes are Spanish, are of Spanish origin, but we were also under the Americans. So we have American dishes, blended into our native dishes. We also, we traded with the Chinese. So Filipinos love Chinese dishes, but, we are able to make it, more Filipino and less Szechuan, things like that. Okay. And the fifth one is both things can be true at the same time. It opens doors to experimentation. That's what it says. So now let's get back, to what we've been talking about. Is it possible then to be grateful and happy for what we have been given and what we have built? At the same time, desiring, bigger and better things, right? Is it possible then, to be contented? Yeah, because you're grateful for what you already have, and ambition, ambitious at the same time, desiring for, I said, bigger stuff. It can contentment and ambition exist, okay, at the same exist with the same person. At the same time, can we crave stability and adventure at the same time? You know what I mean? That we, that we like, we crave the stability of the structured life, meaning, every morning we know what to do is structured. It's not, it's not something that changes, every minute. This is the stability of structure. But at the same time, long for adventure, going to the unknown, finding out, what lies at the end of the tunnel. Is that possible? Longing for stability and freedom at the same time. In the autumn of life, this tension becomes a lot more obvious. Okay, talking from experience. Okay, one part of me, okay, wants a life, that is not subject to a lot of upheaval. You know what I mean? I just I don't want to wake up with a lot more drama. I don't wake up for something, that I'm not prepared for. I don't like that. No? But at the same time, I don't want a very predictable life. Like yesterday, looks like today. Today will look like tomorrow. There's nothing new. Right? Why? Because one of the my realization is we now accept the fact that we are not that we don't have much time on planet Earth. We don't have much time. Okay, so we want to what? We want to cram everything in the time left for us. Like we want to travel, we want to see the world, we want to do this, we want to do that. So many things at the same time because there's not much time. You see, but at the same time, we know that we can actually do it. We may not have the strength, to travel to as many places. We may not have what? The patience, to learn new things, and we may prefer, to enjoy the simple things and not so grand things, We are in a very, very, we are in the middle of this tension, this beautiful tension. Now, okay, there is no contradiction whatsoever. Okay, why? Our desires are legit. Okay, they are legit. What do you mean by legit? They're legit. There is really no contradiction. We can pursue both of them, and it can happen. So, what do we need to be able to do that? Huh? Okay, let's go back to psychology. Okay, and the skill we need according to them is called post formal thing. There, I will define it there. Post-formal thing. The ability to hold complexity, the ability to hold complexity, to tolerate ambiguity, not neither here nor there, ambiguity. This, to tolerate ambiguity and live with two opposing truths. That's what we call post-formal thing. Tolerate ambiguity, okay, hold complexity, and live with two opposing truths. Okay? Forcing one over the other causes what? Internal friction. And so, am I normal? Am I all right? Am I not greedy? Am I crazy? Things like that. That can be exhausting, yes. The ability to do both, okay, becomes creative energy. So instead, being exhausted, you can have, creative energy. It stretches us to become wiser, okay, at the same time, more open to enjoying life. Okay. My resonance life is my attempt to do post formal thing. Okay? Thankful yet expectant. I continue to dream. Okay, I continue to dream big, yet enjoying what I already have. Okay, I enjoy this very moment talking to you. Okay, and look forward to tomorrow and the next, episode. So, no wonder I hate being asked, a good looking, rich husband, or, a wonderful man who loves me, but poor. Why? I have a wonderful, good looking husband, who is able, to provide for me. Well, I did have both, right? And I do have both, okay? Well, you can too. Okay, my wonderful, fascinating Renaissance friends. That's about it for this episode. I'll see you next episode as we continue this conversation. Okay? Goodbye.